What's up, guys? We're back. This is episode 2 of Alpha 15 base tours on landowners. This case right here was a bunch of South Americans, and these guys, they loved to play. They were a gang of them. They didn't cause any trouble, they didn't cheat. They were good players, and they got screwed over. As you can see, they built their base on the snow. These are the only land claims they put down. As you can see, his land claim doesn't even cover his little ramp wall here. And I tried to tell them that, but they didn't speak English. And so they were very easily able to get raided. And the sad part about it is the people that raided them used a glitch. They used that underground glitch that we've seen somebody used on Powers on his second tower. And I don't like to see players get cheated like that. Now, I helped them rebuild. I gave them back a few things, and I used Copies mod to fill in. I filled in their land claim with cobblestone because that's what they had used. So that's what I had used, and I just filled it in solid with cobblestone. Now I knew that they could get raided again, and they did, but I knew that whoever did it would have a hell of a harder time than the way they had it set up. These guys were good, they liked to play, they didn't know how to build, and they got cheated and got raided. So I tried to help them out. Don't build in the snow, and don't build in the desert. At least snow does have stone in it. But these guys even feel like they got cheated, and I don't blame them because they did. The people used a glitch, a ground glitch. I say don't build in the snow because snow is very easily, it's a weak block. A lot of these blocks are weak. Environment blocks should be a little bit tougher than they are in my opinion. So they got raided again. But anyway, back to the point about snow. Zombies get in there and they just dig and they tear it up. And it just, I don't know, looks like shit, I guess. They had built out a cobblestone. They got raided again. They weren't cheated. I tried to tell them that this is not a good design for a base. Anybody can come in here and raid you. And that's what happened to them. So after the third time that they got raided, they just quit playing. They didn't come around, which sucks, man. Why do you want to be mean to people and run them off? I don't mind the raiding thing, but on their last raid here, somebody come through and put a sign every single wood block around here that you see, because as I showed you on the map, it's not land claimed. So the person was able to place blocks all the way around it. And they had put up signs all the way around it, basically equating Donald Trump with racism and telling these guys that they weren't welcome on this server. Folks, Ally supported Donald Trump. Donald Trump's very pro-Mexican. But what people don't understand, and I'm not going to get too political, this is the end of that. This will be the end of the politics with these signs right here. But, you know, like I said, I believe that he's more pro-American than he is pro any other country. And sadly, in today's world, that makes you racist. If you want to take care of your own country. You know, the great thing about America is that black, white, Chinese, whatever you want to call us, Asian, South Pacific, whatever. Our parents, grandparents, whoever come here because they wanted to be an American. So, it doesn't matter if you skin color has a different shade than mine, or you have a different accent than me. You know, people, they just seem to be ashamed to be American, and that's sad because being America means that you can be you. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say about the politics. I don't equate Donald Trump with racism, and I'm sorry that whoever put these signs up did, because these guys that played here, like 5, 6, or 7 of them, they'd get on and play for 3 or 4 hours together, and they would chat in Spanish, or I would imagine it was Spanish, in the, your text chat. And I didn't mind. I don't care. In fact, I'm going to remove that from the rules about speaking English. Mainly we did that because in the beginning, the Chinese didn't come in to cheat. They come in to play because it was a fun game. I think it was Alpha 11. I had one Chinese guy come in. He was cheating, obviously, but he wasn't trying to raid people. He wasn't even trying to shoot people, really, until they shot at him, and he just wanted to build. But after he'd built, then his friends wanted to play with him, and a couple of them did want to cheat, which, like I said, he cheated. There's no way I can stop somebody from... you just can't see what the other guy's doing. I can't watch his code. The server's watching it, and I don't know what people are doing. I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, I knew that guy was cheating. I would watch his inventory on the master map, and one minute he would have 250 headlights, or not headlights, but the spotlights, and he'd put a few down his base, and then I'd check his inventory and all the spotlights were gone. He was taking them out of the creative menu and using them, and I knew that he was doing this. But I let him play on my server for almost a month because he never bothered anybody. He just liked building. He built him up a cool base. And but anyways, look, man, these guys here, they're great guys. I don't know if they speak English. I don't know if they'll watch this video. But I hope they come back, and I hope that they get somebody that speaks English. Don't build on the snow. This ramp here, that's great for zombies. It's horrible for players. They can run right up on your wall and beat a hole in like they did right there. And they're in. So, anyways, that was their base. They know who they are. Everybody in this that was involved up here knows what happened. They got screwed over by a couple veteran players. I'm not going to say anyone's name. Maybe Death Merchant and Trevor the Third and Patrick Fitzgerald or Fitzhenry or something. But them 3 guys screwed these Mexicans over. It wasn't right. Alright, there's another player over here. Timmy, I believe. Now, I don't know. I think he said he just tried to design this to be, I forget what he said. But anyways, this was a player named Timmy. He has a lot of time on this server. He's been around since, I believe, the day we renamed as landowners. As you all know, in Alpha 10 and 11 and 12, this server was named landowners, and then I believe Alpha 13 or 14, I can't remember. One of them was an absolute disaster of a game for a server operator, for a player, and it was horrible. Anybody that was paying for a server at that alpha was absolutely wasting their money. That's the way I felt about it. And so for about 3 months I went without a server. Landowners shut down. I tried playing on other servers, and it's amazing how much people get accused of being cheating by admins that don't know a damn thing about what they're doing. They don't have any time, and I don't know. I'm not bragging. Hell, I'm more embarrassed than anything, but I have on my HKUSP Steam name 3,500 and some odd hours as of this video. I enjoy this game immensely. I guess it's my kid likes Minecraft. The dogs on this game, when he was a year or two younger, they used to make him cry. So I call this Mancraft. But it's fun, time consuming, and it's a fun game. It's good. But as you can see, Mr. Timmy has land claim blocks out in the open. That's never a good idea, ever. It's never a good idea to even leave them underground, because, like I showed you earlier, you can glitch people. You can no-clip, and you can look underground and see what's going on down here. But as you can see, Mr. Timmy, he's putting quite some time on his base. And, hell, I believe he's the highest zombie killer on the server. He has over 6,000 zombie kills. I don't know how effective of a PvP design this is, because, you know, anybody can come up to your wall and dig in. If they dig in, they're in here. Looking around, though, I think he realizes that it doesn't look like he has anything important at this level. And if you do get in through this wall, which I would imagine it would be pretty easy to do, you would then have to, looks like, go through some stainless steel. Some more stainless steel, couple doors. Folks, I gotta tell you, 2 doors is not a lot, which, as you can see, there's more than 2, but these hatches and these doors, 5. 5 is pretty secure. If somebody's gonna spend that much time to go through 5 doors, you know, there's probably nothing gonna stop them anyways, so. But as you can see, all this stuff seems to be locked, and I don't recall Timmy ever being raided or mentioning being raided, so he's not very far underground. Somebody could dig down. I believe these are all land claim, though. They did get in his tunnel. They probably aren't going to jump across that. Actually, you can see he has a ramp right there. Hell, Timmy, we're going to test your security for you. Obviously, I can pick that frame up. Let's see if I can get across his pit without having to use God mode. Please tell me that you don't have a ladder there for me to get out, Timmy. Now, fellas, do you see the flaw in that design? You're gonna let me get into this pit. I can stand right here. If I wanted to do it that way, I could take his spikes out. So that's a good design. I would have probably turned that into steel and made a wall of steel going straight in. But I'd never put a ladder in. And once I got you in my pit, I don't want you getting out. Huh. So this is useless. This pit right here is useless. It might take me some time, but I could bust some spikes. I could bust that. I could get in. I'm not criticizing anybody's work, or in fact, I love looking at this stuff. Hell, it's the only reason I run a server anymore. I get tired of dealing with competitive players. where everybody's cheating, and you know, it's like I said, shit can turn toxic between other players. I believe Powers and a player named Death Merchant had a long time feud running. Like, Death Merchant's been around for quite a while. He's a good player. He's very competitive as well. But enough about them two for now. So as you can see, Mr. Timmy's put in a lot of time, and I question the PvP ability, but I don't think he's ever been rated, so I try to keep a balance on my land claim where nothing's impossible if you want to do it, but is it worth doing? He's got a little kind of neat tunnel over here. He's got a lookout on this road. I think somebody did try to raid this. I can't remember if they got in or not. Can't remember. But it's neat. He set up like a little pillbox there on the road. It's always fun sniping at a person on a mini bike, I guess. Door's still locked, so that is Timmy's base. Pretty neat. Oh, let's go check out Death Merchant. Way out in the middle of nowhere. Alright, Death Merchant had originally came way out here, and he tried to build his base right here. But there's a bug something in this game where there are blocks on the map that you cannot build on. Even prefabs will not place blocks there. And we had found that through the help of Copies mod. And this base right here is a perfect reason as to why it's so this Copies mod is amazing and should be included in the standard copy of the game, because this player had spent, I'd say, 80 hours, maybe 100, I don't know, there's two of them, so I don't know. They spent a fair amount of time, built this whole base, a big tower, which we'll see right here, and they got to a certain level and it wouldn't build anymore. When they build up, I think, I don't know, maybe they got 60 blocks high. There was a spot in their wall they couldn't build. It would not let them build. Every block you placed there, whether you placed it by hand or used the mod to try to actually change the code on the block, it wouldn't work. These blocks would fall. You could build up around them, but then you're left with holes, and it was like I said here, I copied his base for him. This base here is the reason, is the total justification for Copies mod to be included. You don't want a player spending that much time in this game, or at least I don't want them spending that much time in this game on my server for nothing. So I copied his base for him. Obviously I erased the old one and filled it with grass. There is a horrible bug. Really was. So I told him, I said, listen man, I'm gonna try something. I don't know if it'll work because of elevation issues or whatever. I said, but I'm gonna try to copy your tower, and I'll move it to anywhere you want close by to here. So he found this little island. And he built, this is the tower that was over there. But over there, I believe he was right in about this level. And he couldn't build up anymore because he couldn't place any more blocks. So I copied his base and I moved it. As you can see, he's put a hell of a lot more time in it now than there was before. This is Death Merchant and Ripflex. And these two guys have been around since Alpha 10.4. They've played on my server. These old players, they like to refer to me as a friend, and I am. But first and foremost, I run this server for everybody. I like these guys. They're good guys. They're damn good players. But they don't seem to understand I can't take personal sides, in disputes. So-and-so shot me underground. Listen, I want to believe that. I trust you. You guys are good players. You know what's going on. But I wasn't there, and I don't know what happened, and you can't prove it. So this is their take on a loot pit. Same thing, inverted design here, which apparently they even call heat hordes with theirs. Folks, if you want to stack up loot quick and fast, these pits are the way to do it. They really are. I asked a player one time, I looked in his backpack and he had almost 2 stacks of bones, and I was like, man, what the I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, I just got him off Horde Night. He said, you should look at my other chest at all the rotted flesh. But, yeah, you can get crazy amounts of stuff by harvesting them hordes like that. But anyways, this is their design. Like I said, Death Merchant and Ripflex. They've been around since Alpha 10.4. They've obviously went way wider than 5. Which is wise. The wider your pit, the more somebody has to dig if they want to get into the bottom of your base. You'll have to forgive me, I did spawn in stuff. But I was making this video here and I dropped all my inventory. Figured there was no need. Anyways, let's look at their pit design here. He obviously has land claims all over that you could glitch if you wanted to. I don't know what that tunnel's about. Looks like somebody may have been digging in on him. I don't know. We'll go look in a second. Natural cave comes in. There's water. Somehow I would have tried to use that. Apparently this player didn't glitch his own property. Encrusted land claims on each corner is a very good idea. Very, very good idea. But if you're going to encrust them in steel. Single wide concrete pit. It's pretty effective. Quite a lot of spikes. You get in here. That's 2 wide. 2 block wide. Now remember what I was telling you about no ladders? Unless you're cheating, you can't get up there. Because you can't put these blocks down like somebody who owns the land claim can. So what you'll do is you'll dig out these 2 blocks. Dig them out. Actually, you'd have to take out 3. Dig these 2 blocks and just stairwell up. And as you can see, he's gonna make you stairwell a long way. It's a pretty cool base. I don't like the sound. I think the sound for the burning barrels should be different than the sound for a fireplace. Again, you can't build a ladder, but there's no ladders to get to their secondary floor here either, which is where their beds are. Surely them aren't landmines. Hell, maybe that's their way of saying goodbye. I don't know if them landmines is there or not, so I'm not gonna walk on them. But it would appear they have the floor of their base there lined with landmines. And their garden. Anyways, it's another simple tower design. Tower designs are simple but effective because your goal as a raider is to get into this tower and to find the loot. Well, we already know you can't build on a land claim, so when you get into this tower, it's best to get in on the top. Then you can come down, but then you gotta worry about getting out. Raiding can be a time-consuming task, depending on how creative you are or how bad the builder is. This tower right here would be a bitch to raid. Pretty much any tower would be a bitch to raid. Here's another concrete bridge I made. I'll drop down anybody a bridge, I don't care. It's easier than having them build a structure that will collapse. I've seen a crate over there underground, I believe. People have asked me about traders and spawning them in, and I have come to the conclusion that I will. I'm not going to spawn a trader into your into your base, but if you want to build a building where it's accessible to anybody, then I'll spawn you a trader at your building, which is what I did for this player right here, Death Merchant and Ripflex. I spawned them in a trader at the police station, I believe. These tunnels were all dug by Ripflex and Death Merchant. Now that's one thing that I do love to see. I like to see, where do these players get all this stuff from? And with some players it's super simple because they'll mine really close to their base. Now me, I will not mine close to my base. I don't want holes and tunnels where you can just run through real easy. But anyways, here's an example of a player-sponsored trader. The rule to have your own trader is it has to be an open building. You can't shoot players coming and going from the trader. When if your base is right there, I'll put your trader right here. But you're not going to be shooting them when they go to that trader. And your trader has to be open and available for anybody to build on. Whether they're on your friends list. Well, you see that? You see that? Now, look at here. How do I get into that trader? I can't. Well, boys, Gunrunner's is getting closed down. He's not publicly accessible. They know the rules, and we do follow the rules, so I try my damnedest to keep this fair and legit. Now, it wasn't like that. They just built that base, and I'm sure they actually did it on accident, so we'll get it rectified when they figure out he's gone. Looks like Gunrunners hasn't paid their... They ain't following the law, put it like that. But anyways, folks, that's Ripflex and Death Merchant, two very good players. Ripflex at one time used to be an administrator, I believe. I was gone to work and I didn't have much time to play, so I made him an admin, and he did a fine job. I never had one complaint. But he's since teamed up with Death Merchant, and Death Merchant does PvP, and I'm not gonna have, an admin involved in PvP. And they're both good guys, and so they get along, they teamed up. I don't need a PvP admin, but I'm damn sure glad to have both of them as players, as I'm glad to have everybody on this server, really. I don't want to be involved in your personal disputes, because I don't give a damn about them. We all got disputes in this life. Why make more in a video game? We're here to have fun. Some people get their fun by screwing other people. So I turned a prison into a garden. I've got a rule that, no prefabs can be land claimed within 5K. The reason for that is all your new spawns, you gotta give them a chance. Give them the chance that you had. So, you go out past 5K, you can take over a whole damn town, I don't care. Land claim it, own it, keep it, love it, care for it, rebuild it. Put a trader in it. I'll throw you a trader in there. I want him open. I want anybody to be able to get to that trader because, it's the reasons are obvious. I don't know how long this video has been, but I want to demonstrate here. I did build a trader in the hub city. I even spawned in. We'll check it out. Let's go check it out. I built a trader for everybody, obviously, here in this public building. I pretty sure traders each have, their own traders have their own special inventory, so I added 3 of them. Gives the guys somewhere to come sell their stuff, where everybody knows where he's at. Hell, I think it's broadcasted in public chat. Some of these extra prefabs, I used copies mod to import. I put a huge wall right there. This was an unforeseen event. I had a player want to build a base, and it's not a prefab, so it's not against the rules. He wanted to build a base right there. I told him go ahead. I figured he's setting that base up so he could sit down here and snipe players at the trader. So I threw up a little wall. But anyways, here's the trader. Gotta use, it's not a base, nobody's using that to hide in. So I built it as strong and as sturdy as I could, same with that wall. I blocked this off here. I don't want somebody sitting up there sniping people. You can call it whatever you want. This is my terminus. Landowners is my terminus. I'm trying to protect my customers. I can't save you from the inevitable, but I can try to help you out a little bit. Of course, as we all know, Terminus wasn't much help. I don't know how many of you watch or follow The Walking Dead. I'm not into it like I used to be. I could never miss an episode. Hell, I was paying for cable TV just to watch The Walking Dead. And, long story short, it really wasn't worth it. It's still a really great show, don't get me wrong, but it's turned into more of a manpra, like a man soap opera. And I still like it. I still catch every episode, except now I'm not paying for cable TV to do it. I believe these flagstone are really easy to make. So you can come in here. If you ever find these, which they rarely spawn anymore, which is why I spawned them in manually at the hub city. But some of them, the fronts, make really cool bases. Obviously these blocks here, I'm not even sure if they're craftable. They may be, but flagstone are really easy to make. So you come down in, you line it up. I think that is center. Come down in, and hell, it's a place to throw down a bed. If you don't land claim it, no big deal. At least on this server. I don't want people land claiming prefabs inside of 5K. It'll probably remain that way for Alpha 16. Folks, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I'll look around. I know I got one more player to cover. I mentioned him in another video. And it'll definitely be a whole video's worth. So if I can't find anything else, we'll get straight to Aggressor Bunks' tower and current project that he's working on. See you in the next video.